All right. So we are live. You have Susan Essential Self Care, and welcome to the show. Today we have Yanni. I don't know if I'm going to pronounce Yanni's last name right because we didn't get a chance because we were having technical issues. But I'm going to do my best and say Yanni's last name is Charalambous. He is an expert at clearing the mind. He of Honopono and the Law of Attraction coach. He What does that really mean? It means to correct the errors within the subconscious mind and law of attraction. Um, his main focus is business and personal development. He is also available for stillness and silent meditation practices. And the aim is to let go of attachments to thoughts and to create the manifestation of goals and intentions. He has yearly and short-term guidance available. So today we're going to talk about what Yanni does, which is, help you detach from these thoughts. And he is going to share with us what it would look like to take responsibility for change. And it looks like we're having technology issues. And so he's going to pop right back in. And I'll just give you a little bit more information about Yanni and why he does what he does. He had his own personal negative experiences by reacting to thoughts that manifested through the physical, emotional aspects of depression, panic attacks, anxiety, mental health, and negative analysis thinking. And so the aim of Honopono is to get back to a zero state of mind. So we are inspired to let go of the shared memories that bind and tie and attach together that serve no purpose. So while we're waiting for Yanni to reconnect to the platform, I will talk a little bit about the law of attraction and about being responsible for change, right? Because we have to be radically responsible for the change in our lives. So we have to be responsible for the actions and the inactions, right? And if we keep on taking the same actions and we don't like the outcome, then we need to modify the actions that we take. The same applies if you take an inaction, right? Meaning you don't take any action whatsoever and you get an outcome you don't like, then you are responsible for that. And it looks like we have Yanni here. Yay! So excited to bring him on board. Hi, Yanni. How are you?
We're back.
You're back. Yay! So I did the introduction. I told people about why you do what you do, what you offer. And then because I had an extra minute in there before you were logging on, I explained to the world about how we're radically responsible for our behaviors, right? About actions and inactions, and that every action gets us a certain outcome. And if we don't like that outcome, then we're radically responsible for changing the action step so we can elicit a different outcome. Also, inactions, if we're not taking any action whatsoever, we're also responsible for that outcome. And then why don't you go ahead and really explain to people about our subconscious thoughts and how that's all being driven. So I did more of the 3D approach, even though I focus mostly on 5D. Why don't you go ahead and share? Might be frozen. Are you, how are we doing? Okay, so while we're waiting for Yanni's technology to align with his vibration, I'm going to speak about the subconscious mind, right? So the subconscious mind, also known as the unconscious, is driving 95% of our day, right? So if we're not willing to pause, then we're operating on autopilot. And if we're operating on autopilot, that means these are things like things that we do on autopilot that are really, really good are things like breathing, right? Our heart works on autopilot. These are really important functions for the body. But when we're interacting with people, right? When we're interacting with our pets, I've got my two beautiful birds over there. That needs to have more consciousness to it, not autopilot. Yanni, it looks like you're live again. Why don't you go ahead and share with people about the subconscious mind? I don't hear anything. Clear? Are you there? So I do not. I can hear you. You're a little frozen. Do you want to speak? You want to try speaking and see if it comes on? Is the audio working? No. So we're going to go ahead and while we're waiting, thank you, Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell's trying to clear the energy. So the subconscious mind, let's say you walk into work and you give everybody a high five, or you don't touch anybody, but it's your way of being. It's your way of showing up, right? And so if we can slow down and pause and consider, how do we want to present ourselves today, right? When you walk into work, are you more positive? Are you more negative? Is there a certain level of excitement about what you're about to accomplish and bring to the world that day? Or is it more of a doom and gloom? And so those energies, those patterns are driving your outcomes. So let's see. We have Yanni here again. Let's see what we can do. Hi, Yanni. Are we doing good? Does not look like Yanni. Let's see. So we're going to go into patterns while Yanni's connecting to the internet. And so patterns are these trends. These are the things that are consistently happening for you. They are a signal that the universe will give you, that your body will give you, that your friends will give you. So patterns could be something like you never remember where you put anything, or like your passcodes, right? Or you tend to miss appointments repeatedly. You want to look at what are the patterns that you have in your life. And if there's a pattern that you have in your life that you're not fond of, how can you shift the reality, shift the energy so you don't have the pattern anymore, right? We want to release patterns. Now, sometimes these patterns are from this lifetime. Many times these patterns are ancestral patterns, and they're based in trauma. And so you can, some people operate with fear. So they don't want to move forward because they're fearful of what they might see, or they're living in the past, right? That's an ancestral pattern. It could be from this lifetime or a past lifetime. And so if we can release these ancestral patterns and that ancestral DNA, those imprints, those thought viruses, then we can choose a different reality, right? And we can move forward and create something new in our life. And it looks like we have Yanni back here. Let's see if the technology is working for us this time. Hi, Yanni. Up. And I don't have his handsome face. I have the cloud. Yanni, can I hear you? Can you speak though? I hear your breathing. So why don't you just share with us, even though we don't have your image? See if I can clear it there. Clear the energy. All right. Fagla, Tinkerbell, you want to help clear energy? I've got two beautiful parrots that clear energy for us. Um, let me do that. Oh, there he is. Okay, um, so anyway, going back to patterns, a lot of times, like I said, these patterns are passed down through the generations. Um, and you can come across somebody who brings up a frequency or ignites an emotion for you, and you might get triggered. Well, people sometimes get upset by those triggers. However, those triggers are an opportunity for you to release. You can look at, well, why do I have this trigger? Um, you know, what's coming up for you? Was it from this lifetime that you're triggered? Does it remind you of something from your childhood? Now, for me, I know that I had a lot of triggers from not only from my childhood and young adult life, but I also had ancestral triggers, things that happen in past lives or for an ancestor, let's say my mother or a grandmother or a great great grandmother. Um, and so we heal those soul fractures. So the next time that you're around that person or someone like that frequency, you don't have to be reactive to it. Like, oh, I don't really like it, but it's not a big deal. Like, I can just kind of be the observer and not worry about it. And so it looks like, I'm not sure that Yanni's going to be able to get on, but here's the thing. If you're looking for a way to release these traumas, release these triggers, and heal soul fractures, then, you should reach out, because I'm just going to put a little banner in here so that you can see how to connect. Although that's, I'm not sure if that's the right one. That's the one for my girlfriend and I, Michelle Freud. But you can reach out and connect and find a way to heal your soul. Um, we all need to, there's no one who's excluded from this. We all need to heal emotionally, because it's not this just lifetime. I don't care if you had the best childhood ever, that um, we have traumas that are passed on through the generations. As soon as you come through the womb, guess what? You have a trauma. So, and there's also other traumas, chemical traumas, and those chemical traumas and medical traumas, these are all impacting how your day-to-day happens. And, for those who don't know, my book will be coming out soon. It is totally a God job. We don't know exactly when it's coming out. Although I think it's this month, but God runs the show. He made it clear that it was his book, not mine. And thank you for that. And in the book, we are reframing mental health for the world. So you don't have to have labels anymore. You don't have to have a label of bipolar, ADD, split personality, narcissist. It doesn't matter. What matters is that we focus on healing traumas and healing fractured souls and bringing you connected to God so that you can release the poisonous pills, right? And convert over to plants and prayers. And it looks like we might have Yanni back over. Hold on one second. Hello. How are we?
Very
Yay!
well.
I think I gave him my whole, spiel about, soul fractures, traumas, actions, inactions, ancestral traumas, clearing those, releasing those. But why don't you talk about being responsible for changing all this according to you? Go for it.
Being responsible for whatever shows up within our lives as we see or perceive as a problem is the memory replaying within the subconscious mind. So whatever situations manifest within our lives, there is no out there. So out there is just a reflection of us, whatever problems we see within our lives, then it's us pushed out. So it's taking responsibility on a conscious level to give love, gratitude, forgiveness to the memories replaying within the subconscious mind to release and let go. And the key is to transmute the negative energies into pure divine light, and get back to a zero state of mind. And thus, the energies of whatever
What's
the
the
problem
zero
is.
state of mind? So people may not
Yeah,
know what zero state of mind is.
zero state of mind is to be clear, to be at zero, to be still, and to let go of any attachment within the subconscious mind. Once we're at zero state, then we get the right inspiration, we get the right flow. Otherwise, we get blocked with the memories replaying. So it's always being aware of living in the state of zero.
Yeah, so it also means, like, in another way, because I was mentioning before, I'm putting my phone on do not disturb so we don't get interrupted on the call. Let me just do that. There we go. So it's also about, like, not when zero state of mind is like you're not going to be triggered by somebody else's emotion, action, or inaction. You're just like, okay. It's kind of like Mel Robbins. She's got that book called Let Them. Have you heard that book yet? Yeah, right.
I've not seen that one. No, I've only seen the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take action.
So I have read the book. It's called Let Them, and I'm just putting this one. I have two phones. I'm putting the other one on Do Not Disturb as well. And I read it once already. I'm going to read it again, but it's really, it's what you're referring to as zero state of mind, right? Um, it's that, we can detach from what other people do. It's their journey, doesn't have to impact our journey, and we can just kind of let them do what they need to do. If they go outside and it's pouring rain out and they don't have a jacket and they're going to get a cold, and you get concerned as a parent that your child's going to get wet and get possibly sick, which, by the way, they don't get sick from that, but it's a thought virus. Just let it go, right? So tell me your experiences. Why, what happened for you, right? Not to you, for you, that allowed you to have the epiphany and the change in your life that has you just, be responsible for how you present in life.
I never knew, yeah. I never knew about mind programming. I never knew how the mind worked until I was about 30 years old. So before that, I was experiencing everything from my childhood and negative experiences growing up as an adult, and everything stored within the subconscious mind from eons of time to the present moment that me, my family, relatives, and ancestors have stored. So I experienced the
Well, not just this
depression. Yeah,
lifetime. You're saying past lifetimes, right?
yeah, I'm going back because this is with Ho'oponopono. It's believing that we have come here before, so we're here to correct the errors within, and that's why we keep coming back to let go, to release, to erase the past errors and the past memories, so we can let go and connect with the divine, and just to be free.
Yeah, one of my responsibilities here on earth, which there are many, is the first one has been to clear the lineage, right, for my family, and then to help others clear the lineage for their family, meaning all those traumas, all those thought viruses that are making you feel less than whole, right? So is there anything that you would want to share? I mean, I've got tons of stories, but we're here to talk about you. So
Yeah, sure. Well, my past experience was depression, panic attacks, anxiety, mental health, and negative analysis thinking, and all stemmed from thought form and my attachment to the thoughts, because I never knew about positive thinking. I never knew how to let go. So I was just reacting to whatever thoughts would come up. And that affected my emotions, that affected the mind, body, soul. Um,
how
and
did it
yeah, I
affect your
experienced quite a lot.
soul? How did it affect your soul? Do you feel?
I was unable to identify what was going on within me. And for me, low vibrations, just unable to see a way out many times. And I kept on repeating the same cycle and kept on having panic attacks and anxiety for years. And again, it was the choices I was making within life as well. So I never had clarity in making the right decisions, the right choices, the right career choices. Relationships, I really had steady relationships. So again, I was like a lost soul. So
Mhm.
I was all over the place. I never really had clarity or understood. Well, I had a direction because I never really had a vision within me of where I wanted to be, what I wanted to do. So all the choices were just out of balance and out of clarity, and it just created chaos with everything within my choices, the decisions, with the thoughts, and it just created a lot of pressure from family and others, from expectations and people wanting you to be this or be that or have this and have that by a certain age, and it just created probably extra unconscious pressure on a conscious level as well, and that created self pressure from other people as well, and financially, mentally, whatever was going on, and it was just creating chaos for me in my life. So
Did you ever notice? Because I know I did. So because I can tap into people. So if I'm courted to somebody, like if they're crying, like I can almost go if I'm courted to them and I don't even know that I'm courted at the time. All of a sudden, I've got tears coming through. They're in another state, right?
you pick up the
Like,
mind.
this is not my emotion. This is not
Sure,
my tears, right?
sure.
So cut those cords. How many times did that happen for you till you realize? And that tells us how connected we are in the universe, right? So that,
Yeah, I never understood. Probably I was. Yeah, many times I never understood until I became a holistic therapist, and when I was 28, and I started doing massage, Reiki, and reflexology, and I was performing a massage on someone, and um, I felt an outer experience was controlling the massage because I was just doing the massage and I was just, whether it was intuition guiding me or whatever the guidance was in. And it was the first time I had this experience with a massage. And I felt, wow, what's going on here? There's another source within myself. Whatever the guidance was guiding me. I was just being guided to know every healing pressure points and points of the polarity and of the body and the lines. And that's when I started realizing there's something beyond. I'm
oh
being
yeah,
guided. Yeah, I never
way
really understood it
beyond,
until
yeah, right,
yeah,
way
that was
beyond the current reality here.
exactly.
So I have a story to tell you. So I went last year about this time, right? Well, it was January last year. I went to on a cruise, and I went to the Cayman Islands and um, Bahamas and a few other places. And I think it was the Cayman Islands that we were there. And I swam with the dolphins. And as a healer, right, I already knew that I was probably the dolphins and I were going to do an energy exchange. Like I would provide healing for them, they would provide healing for me. And with dolphins, I mean, that's kind of like a no brainer, right? However, I did not know that I was going to get this. So I put one foot, there's a step, there's stairs that go down into the ocean. I put one foot in and I get a little shaky into the water, right? Second foot in, my whole body started vibrating and I started pouring tears, pouring. And I was clearing the energy for anything that was in that ocean.
That
So
was
I
in the ocean. Yeah,
back up, right? Go back up the stairs. I sat on the bench and I'm crying. And then I'm like bringing in Jesus, right? To help me finish the healing for the ocean and anything that's in it. And they're like, are you okay? Are you okay? Because the people that work there, like, well, okay, well, she's down for the count. And then I probably in 3 to 5 minutes, I was back in my center, back in my balance. And I went back in and I was fine. They're like, are you sure you're okay? I'm like, yeah, it's kind of like my job. It's my job. So that was a really big wake up call. And there was a lot to clear because we're not very good to the ocean,
a
are
lot
we?
of pain in that sea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And especially the dolphins. One of the dolphins' name was Gandhi. No surprise, right?
Wow, the energy attached
Yeah. So,
and everything that comes with it.
so we have a few listeners, and I want to invite any questions that people have about the law of attraction, being responsible for change, understanding patterns, or anything like that. So yeah, so a higher source is working through you when you were giving a massage. What other situations have you noticed where you're clearing energy, and it's really, we know it's not us, right? I mean, we're just a conduit. You want to share another example so people can understand?
Sure. I mean, before I probably was sensing auras or sensing energy vibrations of people before I actually went in and became a Reiki master. I never really knew what was happening. But I started feeling maybe in my 20s energy
How old,
around me and people's energies.
how old are you now? 25, 26?
49. Yeah,
49.
49.
Good,
Yeah, yeah,
right? Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, awesome.
yeah. So that was really, really powerful because in my 30s I started working at the airport in the spas doing massage in the lounges, and there was only two types of people that I felt zero state, pure
Okay.
state, nothingness. I can walk past them and I felt no vibrations, just peace. And that was pilots and people from, I would say Asia, Japan. I'd
So
probably
I
say, yeah, maybe, yeah, the energy was
they're
just
yeah, they're way
pure,
ahead of us.
pure. Yeah,
In
everyone else, I would just
the
pass and I
United
sensed
States,
energy.
you're in the
Yeah,
UK, so right. I
yeah,
mean,
in the UK, yeah. Yeah,
so
everyone else in the airport just sensed the vibes and the energy and the panic, and I was like, "Oh my God," and the vibrations, and just like, wow.
it's hard.
Yeah, it is because you sense it and you feel it, and I mean, I'm unsure how far the distance of auras, of people's auras, how close when we get to people's auras, and we sense the vibrations around, and it gives us that warning sign before, maybe to either clear the energy before we interact, if we're going to interact with that person.
Me too.
Or what we do is it gives us a sign to stay away to avoid attaching our auras and connections and connecting with their energy. So it's all about being aware of people's vibrations, feelings, the energies, what you sense, and just trust that intuition you're being guided, either for your higher good or to let go and to release the blocked energies with that person.
Yeah, and you have to look at everything. Like today, I was editing the book, right? And the guy who's editing my book put in, this is so stupid, by the way. Okay. But there was a trigger. So he put in Roman numerals for the first 10 pages because it's not where the book, it's the table of contents, the gratitude, the acknowledgement, things like that. And I'm like, I hate Roman numerals. Maybe I grew up in Rome and I had a bad time, so, like clearing the energy,
Give me one more chance.
right? And it's silly. It's silly. But the thing is that people can be empowered to clear whatever. You don't even have to know what it was. I don't know if I grew up in Rome in Rome at one point in time.
Yeah, we don't need to know. We just need to clean it.
Just need to clean it up, right?
Yeah.
Clean up the garbage, right? So the energetic garbage. You said about the signature, the frequency of people. So as soon as somebody pays me to work on them, right, it's almost immediate. The healing starts, even if we don't meet for the next day. My higher self is already, like yourself, right, doing the work. And everyone has a unique frequency. Would you agree? Right?
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay. So I find it interesting that when somebody shows up, like someone I know, and their frequency is different, like they may have a negative attachment on them. They could have a dark energy on them. They could have a walk-in. Are you familiar with walk-ins?
Entities.
Yeah, entities, but not an entity, a walk-in.
Okay.
So
Okay. Oh, yeah. You told me that. That's right. Yeah.
yeah, it's a little different. So the body and the soul, right, is traumatized, and the spiritual body is not willing to face, right, what's happened for them here. So they pop out of body, go into another timeline or dimension to take a mental vacation, and an ancestor will come in and take its place. Now, they're not necessarily a demonic energy or dark energy. It could be Uncle Sam. It could be Uncle Joe. It could be Aunt Martha, but I don't know that person. So anyway, so I think, and then another version of yourself can come in from another timeline at a different age, 12-year-old, 21-year-old, so I found out that I was living in another timeline on and off for the last 19 years, right? Like, well, that's convenient, right?
Exactly. We have no idea.
So
We have no idea what's going on. It's the memory. I mean, with Ho'oponopono, it's all about the memories, and we just let go of whatever we see or we perceive and we feel from the other person is gives us an opportunity to clean and erase the shared memories. So what's going on within me that I'm feeling, whatever I'm feeling from the other person. So they've come in for a reason to give me one more chance to clean and erase the memories. They don't know. They don't want to know. They probably have no interest or no idea. But this is what taking responsibility means. It begins with us to clean and erase. Otherwise, if we don't clean the energies or whatever vibrations or whatever blocks we have with that person, we don't cut the Aka cords, then it's going to keep repeating the same. And we keep manifesting the same situations over and over again.
So spot on. So we have to clean and erase these energies. And so there was a question I was going to ask you about that. So if we ignore, so for one, when I was doing divine intervention training, I was working with a woman. Well, there was like 15 of us in the class, maybe give or take. And she showed up with the same, and she's not like this woman at all. She showed up as someone else in my family, like her frequency, her energy, how she presented. And I got triggered. And that's when I really learned that people show up for us to clear. And so we can pivot. And now she's actually one of my closest friends. We can pivot and say, thank you, right? And look at what is it that triggers us. And I would love it if somebody had a question, like, looks like we do have comments. Chris says, good afternoon. Love your spectacles. Thank you, Chris. They're my on-air spectacles. I actually have to have them adjusted because you can't see so well because they kind of go kind of funky. So, but we can have gratitude instead of being vindictive or retaliatory, and understand that person's doing us a favor.
Yeah, this with Ho'oponopono, it's the main mantra is I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you.
Right.
And or whatever shows up within our lives that we perceive as a problem, or we sense the feeling of, if it's a negative perception, the shared memories, whatever is going on. So we do give gratitude for that memory showing up, to release that shared memories that we've attracted that person within our lives in that present moment, and to release and let go. And when we release it off us, it comes off them as well, because we're just all one universe. So it gives us one opportunity to clean and erase the shared memories that showed up. So again, giving gratitude to that memory for showing up, and give me one more chance to make amends for whatever is going on here, to cut the Aka cords, to release the memories, so we can get back to the state of zero with that situation, whatever the problem or we perceive as a problem with that person.
Right. And Ho'oponopono is very powerful. So I learned about Ho'oponopono, I don't know, probably about a decade ago. And then did training on Ho'oponopono when I did my divine intervention training, and then trained under Dr. James, Matt James, for NLP, and he taught Ho'oponopono. Do you want to take people through like what that looks like, or how would you? You tell me, what would you like to do? Because I don't think people really fully understand like how they do that. Do you want to share with them how?
Yeah, with Ho'oponopono, it means to correct the error within the subconscious mind. And on a conscious level, we take responsibility for the memories that show up as we perceive as problems or whatever's going on within our minds. If we have blocks with whatever's going on spiritually, mentally, physically, materially, financially, and karmically, and it's karmic cleansing, and it also gives us the opportunity to find inner peace with Ho'oponopono. And again, the main aim is to get back to zero state, nothingness.
Mhm,
So we avoid blocking the light coming through, and thus we get the inspiration through the superconscious mind, which is the divine within. So we have
mhm,
the Father, Mother, Son as one, and the superconscious mind be the father aspect, the conscious mind is a mother aspect, and the inner child is a subconscious. And it's all about taking responsibility on a conscious level, which is the mother aspect,
mhm,
to clean the shared memories and the blocks within the subconscious mind, the inner child. And when we're at zero state, we get the inspiration come through the divine, and thus then we take inspired action. So it could be another way of living the law of attraction. By taking action could be I get inspiration to write a book. Where did that come from? Because I released the blocks within the mind, that inspiration came through. If I
mhm.
never release, if I was blocked and never released whatever memories, and I'm stuck in past errors, repeating the same cycle, I could have missed that inspiration because I'm not at zero state. I'm not clear to receive that guidance. So it's always being aware to be at zero as much as possible every day. And it's a full-time job. It's something that you do for the rest of your life, because you
Right.
can
So
easily see. Yeah.
thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. It is a full-time job. You do it for the rest of your life. And I can't tell you how many times I've heard people say, why do I have to keep doing this? Well, it depends on how you want to live your life. Do you want to live with joy? Or do you want to live with these attachments to negative thought forms? I mean, if you think about how many lifetimes your soul has evolved and reincarnated, right? You got a lot of work to do. I mean, it's 2025. So, you
We
know,
have no idea. We have no idea. I mean, we had 11 million memories replaying per second, and we're only conscious of about 50,000 thoughts a day. So again, we have no idea what the next thought is going to be. So it's
okay,
always
hold
being aware.
on. 11 million memories. How often?
Per second, replaying per second,
Second. People, did you hear that? 11 million memories that we think about per second. Okay.
replaying,
That
yeah, in
we
the
replay. And
unconscious mind.
what was the 50,000?
We're only conscious of about 50,000 thoughts a day.
But we're conscious about 50,000 thoughts a day. And 95% of what we do is in the unconscious, right? So I was telling them that the good things about unconsciousness is your heart is pumping, right? You're breathing, your lungs are working, your nervous system's working. These are good things for the subconscious mind to, keep going for us. But our patterns,
Yeah.
how we show up, we can work on that,
That's why we
right?
always have to give love to the inner child, because the subconscious is working for us and doing everything. So we have to care for the inner child, for the inner child to work for us, mind, body, and soul. So it's key to keep on cleaning and erasing those memories to let go.
So yeah, and love, um, love is a big thing. And I remember as a child, I'm sitting. So I grew up on a street called Cheryl Lane, and it's spelled Charal. By the way, how do I say your last name properly? Because I don't know that I did.
Charalambous.
Charalambous.
Charalambous, which means happy lights in Greek.
So which part? So Cheryl is happy.
Chara is happy, and the
Huh?
lambus is the light. Yeah, so happy lights in Greek.
Happy light.
Mhm.
Nice. So my last
Thank you.
name means joy.
Joy, there you go. Law of attraction.
Right?
With the
Yeah.
surnames, there you go.
Love it. Um, so I'm sitting on a marble floor. I'm probably maybe 6 years old. And I've got a deck of cards, and it was like a drawing of two black drawings, like stick drawing. and it said something and had a heart on it, and it said how love heals everything or something like that, right? And I'm like, poppycock. Like, it does not. It does. I'm here to tell you. The dark forces are defenseless against love. Period. So, and if you can't send love to someone who's hurting you, and I get it, I have been there, ask God to do it for you, or ask your guides to do it for you. Ask them to carry that energy for you until you can carry it on your own. That's been my workaround. What do you do when you can't send love?
I give forgiveness,
Yes.
and I give forgiveness to the situation, the memories, and what's going on, that I've created these shared memories with this person. So again, I let the divine within get involved and prevail the situation, and what is right will be made manifest. And this is the key with Ho'oponopono, is taking responsibility, and a lot of people don't see that. And they blame other people for their situations, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's all in us. So I never knew that. I mean, when I first started doing Ho'oponopono, I never knew what it meant to take responsibility for everything. But gradually, you see things change, and you see that is you pushed out, and then you realize, wow.
Well, answer this for me, right? Well, first of all, I'm in complete agreement with you, but avoiding blame and shame. Why should our listeners avoid blame and shame? I mean, why shouldn't I just blame everybody for my problems? Why not?
Or you can do, but people don't take responsibility, and it's rare that other people accept the situation. So someone has to take responsibility for change, for things to change, and especially with personal development and business development. If we're waiting for someone else to change, we'll be waiting for a long, long time. If they're unwilling to admit that they're wrong, they're not going to take responsibility for the situation, the problem. So it all begins with us. Someone has to take responsibility to make the changes. Otherwise, nothing changes. We keep staying stuck and repeating the same situations, the same cycle, being stuck in that same memory and manifesting on a conscious level.
Yeah. Chris says it's all a matter of perspective. Chris, tell us more, honey. So, the other thing is, if we're constantly looking outside ourselves to blame something for what's happening for us, then there's no opportunity for change because we haven't looked at what we did yet to bring it into our field, right? Um, you know, we have to, in my opinion, avoid this blame and shame thing because it'll keep you down. It'll keep you way down. You'll never ascend to the greatness that you're meant to ascend to. I'll use myself as an example. I was over medicated from 1997 to 2014, right? Long time. And they put me on 50 drugs, 50. Now, I thought I was pretty clear on that, like, cleared of that energy. And then I trained under Dr. John DeMartini in 2017 when I went back to work. If he didn't make me cry. So, here's the thing. The doctor did prescribe the drug. But I went to the store. I picked it up. I paid for it. I took it home. I filled up, glass of water. And I took the pills. Who's responsible? The doctor or me? Me. Right? My body, my choice. And so I don't have any energy on it, as you can tell. And I have a lot of gratitude, actually. Because had that not happened for me, I wouldn't be able to reframe mental health for the world, right? I wouldn't have the perspective. I wouldn't be able to help people understand that they don't have to adopt the labeling given to them by the WMC, Western Medical Club. They can just choose to heal their fractured souls. They can choose to heal the trauma. They can convert from poisonous pills and go to plants and prayers. And to me, I'm like, thank you. Mm-hmm.
We learn.
Mm-hmm. Boom chakalaka, right? And if you would put your information in the private chat, I will add you to this banner, this ticker, so that we can make sure people can reach out to you.
Sure, appreciate that.
Yeah. Because I wasn't sure which information, if I could put the phone number. I do have your Gmail and the phone. Can I put that in there? Is that okay?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Do that. And if there's anything else I should put in, let me know. So we'll go back to banners and oh, what happened? So I just lost Yanni. He'll be back, I promise. So, but this is how Yanni is from the UK, and he is available at this phone number 4494 8719287, and that is his email. I'm going to add him back in. I'm like, easy come, easy go.
I logged myself out. I was using the chat and then I logged myself out.
That's okay. It's no big deal. So I have your information here, and then it's Yanni, mind, body, and spirit at gmail.com.
That's correct. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. We have another comment. Chris says, we can view situations and relationships as happening to us, and she meant to say, or for us. The outside world is a reflection of our inner world. One of the best things we have going on for us is our curiosity. God bless you. Yeah. So Chris is one of my closest friends. She's part of the High Vibe Tribe. We have a High Vibe Tribe here in the United States.
Cool.
And we're on pause until like May. But we're looking for a couple more members of the tribe. We're going to have a total of 8 members to do online healings with the full moon. So,
oh wow,
yeah, it's pretty powerful what we all do together, because
Yeah. Oh yeah, energy, full moon energy.
Yeah.
A lot of things I sense, a lot of the vibes and things that go on and don't go on around that time. It's like, what's going on? That's what's going on.
Yeah,
And
and
I
she's
realize,
a High Vibe Tribe, and she's also an amazing artist as well. So she's part of the book. Her art is being featured in the book Emotional Healing, Toxic Free Living. So we have, looks like about 9 more minutes, because I have to end the show a couple minutes early. I learned yesterday that if my podcast is under 60 minutes, okay, I can upload it to TikTok. So we can upload to TikTok if we stay within that time frame. So score. So what else would you you're welcome, Lovey. What else would you like people to know about Ho'oponopono? I mean, I know for me, I'll just say, the other week I did it probably like 8 times, maybe 10 in that moment. Had a lot to clear. But I put everybody on a stage, right? Energetically, I put them on the stage, and all the ones that I'm aware of. And then I take all the people that I'm not aware of, right? Because there's the people that I know that I am interacting with, let's say by a phone call, text message, email, a thought form. And then, of course, the subconscious mind. Who am I not thinking of that I need to bring grace to, forgiveness to? Because there's nothing more important than forgiveness. If you lack forgiveness, it will harm your cells, right? And if there's any question about it, I encourage you as a listener to read up on Masaru Emoto's water experiment and see what happens with forgiveness and grace versus the opposite, to the water, which your body's 70% water. Chi chi chi.
Go with the flow.
So, what else would you like to share about Ho'oponopono and forgiveness, and how has forgiveness
Yeah.
impacted your life?
Ho'oponopono is, for me, I find that it's different to the law of attraction. We don't use Ho'oponopono to get things, and we don't have expectations. We just clean and erase and let the divine decide what is going to be right for the situation. It's different to the law of attraction, where we control the mind and we visualize and we use affirmations. For those who want to gain more of, Ho'oponopono is all about letting go of expectations. Have no expectations, just let
Mhm.
go and just trust in the process of the universe and divine timing.
Yeah, I'm looking for Spirit is guiding me to, yep, there we go. Got a deck. Letting go.
Letting go.
Let's see. Let's say what Spirit says that we need to let go of before we complete today. Do you like decks? You might not be a fan of decks. I don't know, but I am, because
I've tried. Yeah, I've had decks before given to me.
yeah, I don't do tarot cards because I don't really understand them. I don't, but at Oracle, like, where I can just connect it to Jesus, then I'm cool with, because it's just like, the law of attraction, right? And so, let me just go in here. Woo! Okay, there it is. Well, and this one too, apparently. All right, so take my glasses off so I can read. Okay. Here's the first one. I'll read it. The most obvious and visible effect of letting go of negative feelings is a resumption of emotional and psychological growth and the solving of problems which have been long standing. Well, that's a card for me. Oh, stop laughing at me. And I got one more card apparently. So where to go? Okay, so here's the other half of the card. There is a pleasure and satisfaction as we begin to experience the powerful effects of eliminating the blocks to achievement and satisfaction. Entire areas of life can open up. What used to be awkward or unexpressed can become effortless and joyously alive. That's the first one for the community, and certainly for me. Okay, here's another one. Notice, got to watch our time. Notice, because we got to get it up on TikTok, right? So notice and accept what your feelings are about a situation, and then proceed to, this is what we're talking about, to clear them as a priority rather than indulge in emotionality, right? So don't sit in the muck, is what they're saying. Go within yourself and acknowledge negative feelings as they arise. Let them come up without suppressing them and without venting them. Then shift your attention from the feelings to something else. Let the feelings be there and let them go. Yeah, let them go. I like this part about you don't really have to vent them. I think that's really important to note, because although I have, my friends will tell you, we clear the energy afterwards, right? And send love. But I'm now at a point where I just give the whole thing to God. Like, you have to evolve to it. I don't think you step up when you wake up one day and say, okay, I'm not going to vent. But you'll vent less every day. Okay. And then the last card, when the negative blocks and I can'ts are removed, So that negative thinking, I can't make it happen. Yes, you can. When the negative blocks and I can'ts are removed, whole new areas of life open up to us. So what they're saying is success stems from doing what we like to do best. That's living by your highest values. That's a DeMartini method if I have ever heard it. But most people are tied down to what they imagine they have to do. That's living by somebody else's values, right? You don't want to do that. As limitations are relinquished, whole new adventures of creativity and expression become available. Boom chakalaka. Thoughts?
Yeah, it's all about letting go. Letting
Yeah.
go, zero state, non-attachments, and trusting the process of the universe. And what will come will come.
Yeah. And I really like the thing about venting. I know that is a complete opportunity for me, and I've been over the years truncating, keeping things at a 100,000 foot level, and then move on. Right? I mean, you can speak it without venting it. It's the energy that you have on it. So I don't think that spirit is saying you can't speak about it. It's you can speak about it, but don't bring the energy into it. Would you agree?
Certainly depends. I mean, my past situations is reacting in a moment. So a lot of anger that just comes up is just a reaction to a situation. Sometimes I'm unaware and it just comes up, and it just I just vent, and it's like wow, Then I forgive myself into the memories. I forgive for the energy, and the energies around the atmosphere,
Mm-hmm.
the environment, the building, the land, because it's all sacred. So it's giving forgiveness to clean the energies around.
Totally. So if anybody is looking for coaching, go ahead and tell them, Yanni, how they can connect with you.
Yeah, I'm mainly on LinkedIn, Yanni Charalambous Coaching, on Instagram, YouTube channel, my email address, which was on there, and also on WhatsApp as well. So yeah, feel free to connect, and I'll be happy to arrange a call, and we'll
And
take it from there.
Yanni, if you would tell people, because this is also going to be converted on audio and on every podcast channel. So why don't you go ahead and tell them what your number is for WhatsApp and your email?
Sure. The WhatsApp number is 44, which is the UK 7948719287.
Mm-hmm.
And the email address is Yanni mind, body, and spirit @gmail.com, all one word.
Nice. Well, I want to thank you so much for being here
Thank
today.
you. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you to everyone.
Oh, yeah. You're a bright light, and so grateful to have
Likewise.
you, for you to share your wisdom. So
Thank you.
thank you.
Likewise. Thank you.
All
Thank you.
right. And
Take care.
if I can get a band or media here, technology is not my gift either, right? So there we go. Woo! Thank you.